What is up, everybody? We are back in the building. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm getting pretty good at this. The sound so far is good. I think we're good on the audio. Let me know. The visuals are amazing. I'm in the screen, so just let me know if everything is sounding as good as I think it is. As of right now, I think we're gravy, but if not, please put a 1 in the comment if it sounds great. Put a 2 in the comments if things don't sound so good. But definitely that video quality is looking great. I feel like I'm watching somebody else's video. If you ever do YouTube or anything, you'll always feel like other people, that needs to go in the microwave. You'll always feel like other people's stuff looks better, sounds better than your stuff. But right now, I feel like I'm watching somebody else's stuff. But we have a very important show today. This is a very sensitive topic. And I want us to all take that into consideration as we watch, as we comment, everything like that. I want to start with this first. I really don't have a dog in the fight with the Israel-Gaza stuff. I'm going to be real. But I need you guys to understand something. The Israeli state is a country. It is not a religion. It's a country. There are people who live in Israel of all religious backgrounds. There are Muslims who live in Israel. There are Christians who live in Israel. There are Jews who live in Israel. There are Buddhists who live in Israel. It is a country that has religious freedom. So a lot of people will talk about the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. Jew is a religion. That's what it is. Anyone can be Jewish if they choose to convert to that religion, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to act like we got some sense, we can read, and we have at least a vague familiarity with what's going on around the world. Israel entered into Gaza after there was a terrorist attack carried out by Hamas, right? Whether you think they know about this or they didn't know about this, that's really not the point. I think a lot of people get too caught up in the details, but what we are focused on today is the fact that these people have achieved a peace agreement and have agreed to at least the first phase of the peace agreement. Donald Trump was supposed to be this evil guy. He is going to destroy the world. He's going to put us all back in chains. Guys, you might hate Donald Trump. And I know that if you do, that's because the television has told you to. That's it. Because from where I'm sitting, it is looking like this dude is cooking on all levels. Working out a deal with Ukraine. We're going to end that conflict. Working out a deal in Gaza, on the Gaza Strip. We're going to end that conflict. Working out a deal in this first term with North Korea. We haven't heard from them ever since, right? Nothing crazy. But I just have never been, I never thought I would see the day where America is angry at someone who is trying to achieve peace around the world. It has gotten to the point, if you just look at the facts and you don't look at the propaganda, there is even a woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize, right? And she won the Nobel Peace Prize. And this lady, because she's not driven, give me that spoon, because she's not driven by media propaganda and hatred and bias based along political lines, she actually dedicated her Peace Prize to Donald Trump. The woman's name is her last name is Machado. No, wait. Let me see. I'm tripping. Wrong person. Let me see. Okay. Venezuelan woman, Maria Corina Machado, dedicates her Peace Prize to Donald Trump. Now let that sink in. You have a woman who's Venezuelan Destiny tried to tell me, oh, do you think it's right that, Trump's doing this and that to Venezuelans? There is a Venezuelan Nobel Peace Prize winner who has dedicated her award to Donald Trump for decisive support. You can keep talking trash. You could keep saying what you want about Trump. But the people who are boots on the ground, getting things done, doing the work, those people are acknowledging the support that they are receiving from Donald Trump. At that point, when I look at that, I don't care what some jerk on a stage or behind a news camera is saying. I am looking at the real world, not TV, where people get paid to disagree with you just for the sake of disagreeing. This is real. This is not fake. She knows what's going on the ground in her country better than I do. All I can do is do like what I said to Destiny. Focus on myself and trust that those people know what's best for their country, and trust that they know what support and help to ask for when that support and help is offered to them, right? And clearly they do. So there's people who won't even watch this broadcast because it has a positive leaning towards Trump, right? But I don't care about how many people watch, because if the people in this room are informed with the truth, that's 42 people right now who are going to be able to carry the message forward about the reality of the situation versus the propaganda that these people are trying to spread. A Nobel Peace Prize winner from Venezuela dedicates her award to Trump for decisive support. Now, if you go back, sorry about that, but if I go back, already, since the woman has dedicated her Nobel Peace Prize, right? Can CNN or the communist news network, can these people even for 1 second acknowledge that their president is a bringer of peace and an advocate of peace around the world? Nope. Not even 2 hours ago, they're already trying to bash Donald Trump. Trump speaks with Nobel Peace Prize winner Machado after his administration denounced the decision to award her. Come on, man. Clearly, this woman knows what Trump did to help her. Clearly, this woman knows what Trump did to help her. But all we can focus on is the negative. And if you're a person who sees something good happen and all you can do is try to find a way to spin that to the negative, you really need to get your priorities in order. And that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on the positive. I cannot tell you how many Muslims were in my inbox on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Oh, look at what's going on in Gaza. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. They're not going to go down there and do anything, but it needs to stop. And you support Trump and he's funding Israel and all this mess. But I'm going to need those people to be just as enthusiastic when it comes to the fact that Trump has stopped the killing and secured a peace deal in Gaza, and Palestinians are literally heading back to their homeland. I need you guys, I need my Muslim bros and sisters, I need you guys to acknowledge that. Because a lot of people do not know the history of Islam in the Muslim countries, but I do. And unfortunately, that means all this stuff y'all be saying, about these situations and about me and America's destabilizing this, whatever. Listen, man, the Muslims once were a part of the Ottoman Empire, the Turks. The Turks were their brothers within Islam. What did they do? They betrayed the Turks so that they could become proxies of European countries, Western European countries. Now it's, oh, the West is doing this and the West is doing that. This is what you guys chose. This is what you chose. Don't come to me complaining. Don't come to me complaining. Go look up the history. They had an opportunity. They had an autonomous state that was the world power at the time. And they betrayed their Turkish brothers in Islam so that they could become proxies of the West, Western European countries. Now the West arms a country against you, and now you want to blame, oh, you need to help us. Listen, man, go tell your fathers and your forefathers, because they're the ones who put you in this situation. Don't come at me with the BS. Okay? But we're going to play this because the peace agreement has been reached.
Israel and Hamas have agreed the first stage in a peace plan for Gaza, paving the way for a ceasefire and the release of the remaining hostages in exchange for Palestinian detainees. The Israeli cabinet will vote on this first phase later today. Then a ceasefire will go into effect officially. A minimum of 400 aid trucks a day will enter Gaza. On Friday, Israeli troops will begin a partial withdrawal, and Hamas has agreed to free the hostages on Monday. Francis Reid reports.
Elation in Hostages Square. This is a huge moment. They've gathered here so many times, but this time for celebration, after news that Israel and Hamas have agreed on the initial phase of a peace deal that could bring an end to 2 years of horror and devastation. For Israelis, the promise, the hope that it's something concrete after the terror of October the 7th and the wait for the remaining hostages.
It's such a good feeling, and I really hope it will happen. I mean, until it will not happen, it will not happen, but we are very excited.
In Gaza too, daring to have joy after thousands have been killed and around 2 million people displaced. The deal would get aid here with Palestinian prisoners and detainees released, and crucially, the withdrawal of Israeli forces, which in theory would take less than 24 hours from approval.
Every time we used to have hope, they would let us down. We would hope there will be a truce and they would let us down. Until now, the joy is incomplete until it is fully implemented.
It is but a first phase. Everyone is right to be cautious. A whisper from the US Secretary of State. This, the first moment that word was given to the American president that his proposed deal was about to be accepted. The note reads, "We need you to approve a Truth Social post soon so you can announce the deal first."
We're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly, so I will take a couple of more questions.
There has been deep anger from Israelis against their own government, with Netanyahu previously deciding to fight on and being criticised for having no clear objective. Many felt it harmed the chances of the hostages' release. The US president, where families have put their faith instead.
Mr. President, we believe in you. We know you've done so much for us over the past, since you became a president, and even before that. And we trust you fulfill the mission until every hostage, every 48 of the hostages are home. Thank you so much. Blessed be the peacemakers.
God bless you, Mr. President. God bless America.
Thank you very much. You just
So
take care of yourselves. The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
Donald Trump seemingly prepared to pull the levers his predecessor, President Biden, wouldn't, putting the pressure on Israel at a time when it's utterly isolated in the Middle East and with widespread condemnation across the globe.
now listen, what did it say? Donald Trump putting the pressure on Israel when Joe Biden would not. So all those Muslim people who were screaming about Gaza, All those Muslim people who stood on business and did what they had to do when they voted for Donald Trump, they are now being rewarded. You voted for a president who is a worker, who gets things done, who makes deals and can handle situations of this caliber very strategically, right? He's made for these moments, and you're being rewarded for it. But people are telling them they're going to regret it. They're going to regret it. Whoa, why would they regret it? They voted for Trump. They voted for Trump. They voted against criminal illegal immigration. They voted for peace, and now they're getting peace. Now they're getting peace. Trump did exactly what he said he would do. He did it. Clear as day right here. Trump put pressure on Israel when Biden would not. Oh, but Trump is a puppet of Israel. Trump's a puppet of Israel. Netanyahu wanted to keep going. I'm not going to go at Netanyahu because it's like, look, that's what he feels is best for his country. Who am I to say it's not? But at the end of the day, the United States president had some cojones, stood up to Israel, told them, look, you need to cut this crap. You need to come to the table and make a deal. And that's what was done. Now, you got a lot of people who are anti-Semites and all that. They just want to hate Israel just because. Israel ain't did nothing to them, but they just want to hate them. That's fine. But what I'm telling you is it takes a lot of maturity and a lot of discipline. And it takes a lot of soul searching for people to make agreements when so many lives have been lost. You got black folks in the hood still killing each other up over deaths that happened 30 years before they was even born. Every other week they trying to make a gang treaty and can't. The stuff going on in the Middle East is way more violent and vicious than that. But they are trying to sue for peace. And this proves that even if maybe the leader of a country wants to continue to fight and declare war, ultimately what the people wants is what's going to prevail. What the people want is what's going to prevail. And it looks to me like the Israeli people, they want peace. And because they supported Donald Trump, he was able to deliver that to them. I'm sorry, but everyone I see supporting Trump seems to get what they want because these people got their hostages back. The Palestinians are now able to return to their homeland, and bombs are not dropping in Gaza as we speak. A win is a win, as they say. When are the people in the ghettos of America going to start getting on the side that's winning instead of trying to poke holes in every good thing that happens and make a damn fool out of themselves? Let me know. I'll wait. I'm stupid. I'm this. Let's listen to Destiny and Adam 22 and Josh. Boy, don't you understand that I'm telling you facts when I get on this damn internet? Don't you understand I want to see you win? But I'm going to give you tough love because that's what most people need. What did Lauryn Hill say? Fantasy is what people want, but reality is what they need. I'm going to be the guy who gives you what you need. I don't care if it's one person watching this broadcast. You'll never be able to say that nobody told you. I'm telling you. I got people over here. Look at this. Look at this. Bro, you always stick up for the Jews. Man, I'm sticking up for peace and people not dying. If you an anti-Semite, just say that. Stop being a bitch on the internet and say, I don't like Jews. But I'm not. I look at people based on who they are. I don't look at people based on what other people say they are. That's what a man does. But what a coward does is use stories and propaganda to come to a conclusion about people who never did anything to him. Do you want peace in general like my boy Zarth? Because his kid's dying over there. But see, when you're comfortably comfortable and safe in America, you could have all types of outlandish, ridiculous ass positions. But when it's your kids dying, getting bombed, then you're going to start thinking, well, maybe we might want to come to the table and talk this out. Are you man enough to do that? Are you man enough to keep the kids safe, get them in a safe spot first, then go to the table and negotiate? Because Palestine or Hamas wasn't winning this fight. They weren't winning. Every day I'm watching on news, all my Muslim friends sending me videos of little kids getting dragged from rubble dead. I don't want to see that crap. But at the same time, I got to say, look, man, I feel sorry for those kids. But I also understand the Israelis because it's like, you guys got all these damn hostages that are somebody's kids. And I know if you got my kids, I'm coming at your ass and I'm going for blood. Everybody love their kids. But I also know that the people in Gaza continue to elect a terrorist government that continue to operate as an agitator towards Israel. And I understand that in Israel, their government is not 1,000% innocent when it comes to the dealings with Hamas. It ain't a matter of who's innocent or who's right and who's wrong at this point. It's a matter of how do we stop people from dying? And that's what I like about Donald Trump. He's able to see what's important. Because you could point the finger all damn day. But if his baby's getting blown up, what is pointing the finger going to do? A lot of you guys should pick up the Bible and read it. Don't just look at it in the motel drawers. You bone some whore. Pick it up and read it. You guys remember the story of King Solomon and the two women? Remember that story? Remember that story when one woman's baby died in the night? And so she took another woman's baby and put her dead baby next to that woman. And in the morning, the woman woke up and realized that the dead baby was not her baby. So they went to King Solomon, and they basically attempted to prosecute one another. They made charges against one another. The woman said, in the night her baby died, and she took her dead baby and put it next to me and took my live baby. The other woman said, no, this baby that's alive is mine, and her baby died, and she's mad, so she's trying to take my baby. What did King Solomon do? He said, all right, cut the baby in half and give one half to the one woman and get the other half to the other woman. And the woman whose baby, who had switched the babies, she said, yeah, cut the baby in half and give us both a piece. But the mother of the baby, who truly had love for the baby, said, I would rather you give her the baby than for the baby to die. I would rather give my baby up than for the baby to die. And Solomon knew in that moment that that was truly the mother of that baby. Because a man or a woman, a real man or a woman, they will sacrifice being right for the life, for the preservation of the life of their children. Anyone who will not be wrong to save the life of their child, even if they are in the right, that person is a coward. That person is a coward. Because at this point, what are these people fighting over? These people are fighting over land that the Palestinians say was taken from them and that the Israelis say that they were invited into or given to them. We get it. We get it. But at the same time, the Palestinians been in Gaza Strip for decades. So now you're going to sacrifice your children who had no hand in that situation. They get sacrificed so you could go try to claim the moral high ground. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh, but Trump was giving them weapons. Listen, man, Congress gave them weapons. Under Obama, under Biden, Trump can't stop that. That would take an act of Congress. And unfortunately for Gaza, the majority of congressmen and women support Israel and giving them money. That's just the way it is. But Trump did what he could do. And what he could do is working right now. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Look at these idiots. Oh, connect the dots. And what do the dots, how do the dots compare to dead children getting pulled out of rubble? Please tell me. Please tell me. I look at the people doing the dying, they're celebrating. I see a bunch of ignorant people in America comfortable eating cheesesteaks and whatnot. Yeah, they're willing to sacrifice every damn kid in Gaza because it ain't their kids. That's the reality. You don't care about Gaza. You don't care about Palestinian children. I'm not saying I really care about them like that. But I know if I can put myself in their shoes, and I would not want bombs dropping on my kids on a daily basis. I'm sorry. Whatever we got to do to stop that, then that's what we're going to do.
In Egypt, where negotiations have been happening, they continued this morning. There is a thorny and difficult path ahead. How Gaza would be governed, one of the key questions. It is an historic moment, but it comes with no guarantees. Explosions seen over Gaza this morning after the deal was announced. Israel's government still needs to approve it, and it's unlikely to get universal support. Gaza lies in ruins. The amount that needs to happen here for people to resume their lives, almost unimaginable. This is just the beginning, but it is a beginning at least.
Well, let's get the latest now from our foreign affairs correspondent, Porrick O'Brien.
Krish, I was just thinking earlier, this is a momentous day and, a huge relief for the friends and families of the hostages, the possible end to the killing in Gaza. But this is a ceasefire deal. It is not a peace deal. There are huge challenges ahead. The most immediate challenge is trying to locate the bodies of the hostages, and we're just hearing that an international task force will go into Gaza to help that. Then we're talking about rebuilding an utterly devastated place, and then to governance. What is the future for Gaza? And that's all, of course, before we even start to think about the possibility of a Palestinian state here. And I think there is concern that in Donald Trump's mind, there is only a phase one, that there isn't a phase 2 or 3 or 4 and beyond that. And the key question, I think, is will the Donald Trump momentum carry on into those next phases?
Porrick O'Brien, thank you. Well,
see, every time they get a chance, and these Israeli reporters also, every time they get a chance, they try to put down Donald Trump. Oh, in Donald Trump's mind, there's only a phase 1. That's the concern. No, the concern is that you're going to put another warmongering Democrat in office. They're going to get with their weapons manufacturer buddies that they've been knowing 40 and 50 years, and they're going to figure out a way to kick up dust over there in Gaza again. Now you got to watch for the psyops. Now you got to watch for the government-sponsored attacks to stoke the flames of the conflict again to get Israel back to bombing Gaza. That's going to happen under Democrats. That ain't going to happen under Trump. Everywhere Trump goes, he negotiates a ceasefire and then begins the steps of negotiating a peace deal. He did it with Israel and Iran, right? He tried to do it with Ukraine and Russia, but then Zelensky tried to sabotage it and use it as an opportunity to beg for money so he could continue to fatten the pockets of the Ukrainian oligarchs. But I'll tell you, as we speak, Trump has announced that he is ramping up pressure to secure a ceasefire deal in Ukraine. So this is going to have to happen. But I'll tell you this, you didn't know. Vladimir Zelensky, you heard it here first. Vladimir Zelensky has said he will nominate Donald Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize if he's able to secure a Ukraine ceasefire. Trump is still working. Trump is still working. He's not like Biden taking naps, 10 naps a day. He's like, dude, I got this piece deal done. Let me get I am going to go out tomorrow and buy a copy of the book, The Art of the Deal. I'm sure they have it at Barnes & Nobles. I will buy that book and read that book from page to page. Now look. This, I'm telling you, this is how ignorant people are. You've been radicalized, Brandon. The convincing is over. He's already the president. I'm radicalized because I'm celebrating peace and children not dying. I'm telling you guys, these liberals are sick. Mentally sick. They are mentally sick. They don't care about life. They only care about being right. I'm a radical because I'm celebrating the end of children, the potential end of children dying in the Gaza Strip. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Gang archives. Worry about Long Beach blacks. See, this is the ignorance. This is why the gang members hate me. This is why the gang members at No Jumper hate me. Because they're savages. They don't value life. And anybody who tells the truth about it, they're angry. They're angry. And you know what people say? Is it, Brandon, you used to be in a gang? Oh, you used to be in a gang. How you gonna talk about us? Because I opened my mind up. And I acknowledge the wrong, the self-destructive nature of it. And I did that when I was a kid. You a grown-ass man, dog, talking about I'm the hardest Crip. I got an A+ on the Crip report. Looking dumb. Nah, I'm not with that no more. You can be in a gang, but it's really the perpetuation of the ignorance. Because a gang could be a group of people doing good. Remember the Little Rascals? What was it originally called? Our Gang. They weren't doing anything bad. They were still a gang. A gang is a bunch of people who hang together. Yeah, you're in the, yeah, I'm in the gang. But I talk to my friends and I sit down and have steak with them and we go to lunch and we gonna go out to the casino out there in Fresno and watch the homie in his bare knuckle fight. Positivity. That's what you got to do. You can be in the gang, but are you in the gang to spread ignorance and death? Or are you in the gang to spread positivity? Are you in there to be a support system for the men younger than you who need it? Are you still trying to put batteries in people's back and get them to do the dirty work for you? And if that's what you're doing, you know you're wrong for it. Stop it. Stop it. You can't play me. I was born that night, but I wasn't born last night. Brandon, you used to be in a gang. You know what? I used to be an old minister too. I've done a lot of things. But can I tell you like this? There's a scripture at 1 Corinthians 6:11 that I always think about and hold near and dear to my heart. When they say, that's what you, when Munchie be, yeah, but you was doing it, thinks he's so smart. Yeah, but you know what? The Bible is good. It's practical. Very good for teaching people lessons. It says, and yet that is what some of you were, but you've been washed clean. Now you can go and apply it to any denomination or ritual, spiritistic ritual you want to. In this one, they're going to apply it to Jesus, and you were declared righteous, and you were washed in the blood of the Lamb and all that. But just take the first, if you're not a religious person, just take the first part of that sentence. And yet that is what some of you were, past tense, but you have been washed clean. There are many ways to wash yourself clean. You don't necessarily have to do that in a religious sense. You can just go and listen to motivational tapes and videos. Because what the term wash clean means is you have cleaned your mind. You've cleared your mind of the negativity. You've cleared your mind of the poisonous, toxic thinking process that had you engaging in those type of actions. Just when you're a Christian, they symbolize it by dipping yourself underwater and coming back up. Symbolism. Here we go. You must see the Israelis be racist towards blacks. You must see the blacks be racist towards blacks. And I promise you that black racism towards blacks is far greater than Israeli racism towards blacks. Because Israelis ain't getting in a car rolling through black neighborhoods laying people down. Israelis ain't coming in black neighborhoods selling dope and fentanyl, killing folks. And pills and all this other mess, knocking out people's kidneys. Now they 25 on dialysis. Stop it. Stop it. Let's keep going.
A little earlier, I spoke to Israel's former defense minister, Benny Gantz, who chairs the opposition Blue and White National Unity Party. He just came here to the square to meet the relatives, and I asked him who he thinks deserves the credit for today's deal.
First of all, I think it's our soldiers and our citizens who stood for those 2 years in all those fronts we had to fight in, whether it's in Gaza, in the northern area, Iran, and other places. I will also give the credit for the political leadership, Prime Minister Netanyahu, which I don't always agree with everything he does, but he also did some good things, and I'm very happy with it.
And do you think this goes beyond stage one? Should there now be stage two talks?
Say again?
Should there now be stage two talks, now that stage one is agreed?
Well, I hope that we will continue. I'm sure President Trump did a lot for the state of Israel all across his leadership in the States, but in the global aspects as well, will continue with this, and he will push together with the countries around us and with the Palestinians to see how we can live with one another. We won't give up on our security. And we have nothing against them, so I hope we can find a way to do it.
And what's your message to President Trump then?
I want to convey my high appreciation. I'm sure I'm talking on behalf of every Israeli. I mean, you can see here flags of the United States as well. Those are not just Israeli flags. And I know him personally, and I know what he did. I know what his people, his team did. And I think they've done a great job together with regional leaders. And I'm very happy with it. And let's see it continues.
Do you think there should be accountability for what happened?
No, I'm not dealing with it. I want to see those people back home. They deserve some good days. Thank you very much.
So they're talking to people in Israel, and this guy said, I want to see those people back home. They deserve some good days. That is a very powerful statement. Oh, shoot. Can you look at my Cash App and find it? So he says they deserve some good days. Guys, you can tell when it's a real man talking, because a real man puts himself in the shoes of other people. I don't know about all the details and who's doing what and who's a Zionist and who's not and who's working for who and who's puppet. I know that right now, those people are going back home. I know that right now, those people are going back home. They're celebrating. They're happy. And they're on their way back home, right? 14 hours ago, they said Israel announced that the ceasefire deal is taking effect. That's what matters right now. You really gotta do some soul searching when you hear good news like that, and all you could do is look for the negative in the situation. I don't do that. I say, you know what? Look, they got something done. You found it? I said, at least they got something done. At least we don't got bombs dropping on kids right now. That's what's important. Damn, dude, I don't know how to find it. I don't know it. Hold on, guys, excuse me. Here we go. Something's right here. Look, right here. Okay, hold on. Okay. 9, 6. Yeah. So understand that. Like, I'm just looking at the positive parts of this, because I'm gonna be honest with you. You can talk about this all week. You're gonna hear a million different stories. You're gonna hear a million different conspiracies, all to try to sway you one way or another emotionally. I'm not getting drawn into this emotionally. That's not happening. So what I do is I hang my hat on what I know for a fact. And what I know for a fact is right now there's a ceasefire agreement in Gaza. That's what I know. That's what I know for a fact. Will it last? Will it will it be sustained? Will it be upheld? I don't know. But what I know is clearly something positive is happening, because I'm looking at a bunch of people in Gaza like celebrating, or I think that's Gaza.
A ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has taken
Hold on.
A ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has taken effect in Gaza after more than 2 years of devastating war. The truce is part of a 20-point peace plan presented by US President Donald Trump. But which terms have been agreed upon so far? The two parties have agreed to a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip with a phased withdrawal of Israeli troops. The agreement also provides for the immediate return of displaced people from the southern Gaza Strip to Gaza City and the north of the Palestinian territory.
The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
The families of the hostages learned their loved ones would be returned in this call from Donald Trump. The US president believes it could happen on October 13th. Hamas has indicated that 20 living hostages will be released within 72 hours of the agreement coming into effect. In return, Israel will release nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, 250 detainees sentenced to life imprisonment, and 1,700 arrested since the start of the war on 7th of October 2023. Of the 251 people taken hostage during the October 7th attack, 47 are still being held in Gaza, including 25 the Israeli military says are dead. The first phase of Trump's plan will also allow humanitarian aid to be delivered to the devastated Palestinian territory, which is suffering from a UN-declared famine. The deal calls for aid to be distributed without interference from either side via the UN, the Red Crescent, and other international organizations. According to a Hamas official, at least 400 lorries will enter the Gaza Strip daily during the first 5 days of the ceasefire. This number will increase in the following days. A ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has taken...
So I'm seeing some pretty good things happening. Israel is going to release 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. Hamas is going to release the 40-something prisoners that they have left. Israel will have to allow humanitarian aid to go into Gaza. And 400 lawyers are going to go, 400 lawyers, that's crazy. 400 lawyers are going to go into Gaza every day to ensure that the peace agreement or the ceasefire is being upheld. Guys, this is good news. This is good news. It's way better than me having to deal with my Muslim friends sending me videos of kids getting pulled out of rubble every damn day. We're going to look at the positive. A win is a win. A win is a win. So I don't know about this stuff. The Times of Israel reporting Gaza deal is a stunning achievement for Trump and for Netanyahu if the deal holds. Come on, guys. Give the man some credit. Damn it. Trump exerted leverage for the Gaza deal. But tough questions remain. We know there's going to be some tough questions. We're adults. We know we know there's still some dark spots. We know that. But the point is no one's dying right now as far as we know. Somebody said, F a peace deal. Where's your health care and Medicaid? Look, here go to gimme. You know, remember that old saying, gimme got shot. That's all some black folks can understand. Free. What do I get? What do I get for free? Listen, man, I got health care. I got Medicaid, medical care. I got dental and I got vision. That's all that matters. But I understand that, you know, people's lives, people losing their lives, that's something that needs to be a priority. And if there's something Trump could do to help, he's willing to do it. 2, 3, 4 things can be true at the same time. The mark of an intelligent mind is the ability to entertain a thought without accepting it. Side note, 100 KD, this is the Hong Kong, is equivalent to a $10 holler. Actually, it's $12 right now. The current exchange rate is $12. $10 Hong Kong dollars is, 100 Hong Kong dollars is the equivalent of 12 US dollars right now. But thank you. You're educating us, soul brother. It's just like, and the funny thing is, you know, there's this old saying, and this is also in the Bible, by the way. This is also in the good book, right? I believe let me see. You know this one. You know this one. John 8:32. John 8:32. What that say? John 8:32. Let's teach a little bit tonight. Right here. We're going to educate. Thank you for staying up late with me. What did it say, John 8:32? And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You don't got to apply that to nothing religious. But I'll tell you one thing. Once you know the truth about this situation, once you know the truth about Trump and all this stuff, at least this truth that you can grab onto, now your mind is free. Because there was a lot of people who were really stressed over this situation. It's people losing sleep over this. It's people who are terrified. Trump is evil and da-da-da-da and all this stuff. But guess what? Now you know the truth. He's not really evil. He's just trying to do what he can with the power that he's got. And it's working. And there are some people who wish to keep you permanently enslaved to fear. But was that JFK? Who was that who said we have nothing to fear but fear itself? Which one was that? Oh yeah, believe me. Black folks, I'm not scared. Yeah, you are. Black folks is probably some of the scariest people on the planet. That's why we regurgitate everything we hear. Was that FDR? Okay, FDR. Right? That's why we regurgitate everything we hear. Black folks are some of the most fearful people on earth, but we really hide it well. Go tell a black person something real negative. It could be totally unrealistic. We will spread that because we're fearful. Because when you give up everything you got to stand on and everything you got to fall back on, you live in a constant state. You're in a state of perpetual fear. But the more truth you know, the freer you become from fear. That's why the people who benefit off of black folks remaining in a constant state of fear, they try to block the truth from you. And some of those black folks, some of those people who try to block you from the truth are black folks. Let's be real. What's up, Jakari? Look, why don't you click the link and come up? I'm going to put the link in the comments because I know you got something to say about this one. Trump is a puppet of Israel. Israel this. The Zionists. Like, bro, this is poking a lot of holes in that stuff you be saying. I'm definitely getting a check from Israel. If that's what you need to believe to dismiss common sense and rational thinking and logic, J-Bone, my boy from Legends. Is this my guy from Legends? J-Bone? Is this the J-Bone I met at Lee's Caribbean? Nah, I mean, let's be real. People talked a lot of mess. Trump, he's a punk for Israel. No, from what I'm reading, Trump put a lot of pressure on Israel. From what I'm reading, Trump got tough with Israel and was like, nah, this got to stop. Oh, but that would poke holes in your narrative. And I'm not saying that there's not a segment of the United States that is controlled by Israel, because the United States is controlled by money. Most of these politicians, you can get them to do whatever you want if you offer them some money. We know that. But as far as is this current president of the United States of America controlled by Israel? I don't think so. Even the Al Jazeera said Trump did what Biden refused to do. He put pressure on Israel to stop. And shout out to Israel, they actually stopped. They said, okay, we'll go to the table. They could have went to, okay, we'll go to the table, let's see. But what I know right now, every nation involved should be commended for being willing to come to the table and agree to a ceasefire. That's what I know. Why don't we just start there? Did that work? That code worked? Okay. Why don't we just start there? Because the Bloods and the Crips still gonna be shooting at each other tomorrow. O Block and whatever other gang in Chicago still gonna be shooting at each other tonight. It's a ceasefire. We know that. But it's a part of a peace deal. The ceasefire is the first step to a peace deal that Trump is that Hamas and Israel have both agreed to. But to make the deal a peace deal and say that it's officially been enacted, the exchange of the hostages and all that has to take place. But it's a first step. There's a saying, even a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Stop being so hateful, man. Our people have a lot of hatred in their heart. And they try to disguise it as virtue. They try to disguise it as altruism and empathy. Nah, it's hate. It's hate. You hate to see those people stop suffering because you feel like you suffering and you want other people to suffer. Misery loves company. But instead of trying to perpetuate misery on others, just try to figure out a way to keep yourself, to get yourself out of misery. I'm being real with you. You might not like what I'm saying, but I'm being real with you. Understand, it's okay. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm hurt. This, and that, it really hurt me. It bothers me. But don't go around trying to perpetuate and keep other people in a state of misery. It's some people who can't pay their bills. So they get on the internet just to try to take that anger out on people and that pain and that misery. I see it every day. You know how many people get in my inbox just to talk shit to me? And then when I actually respond back to them, they be like, man, I just was having a bad day, bro. Bro, I didn't mean nothing by it, bro. I'm really a big fan. I was just trying to get your attention, bro. Man, hundreds, literally. No exaggeration. Yo, what up? Hey, you know the buzzwords we gotta try to avoid. Jock, you go ahead, obstacles.
Yo, the big homie did it again. Shout outs to Brandon all day, every day. But the big homie did it again. I mean, haters gonna hate. But at the end of the day, I'll speak to the last point of someone was saying, hey, men who are in the world, fighting the world, realize how real it is at all times. You're always a threat. There's always threats, all right? So that's nothing new. But I've kind of heard that rhetoric for a long time, thinking that America is controlled by this country and that country. All countries are influenced by other countries. All countries have soft power and hard power. All countries have to bend to some concessions with this country and that country. Does it mean that country rules the other? Heck no. If anything, it don't even make any sense. You getting beat up with guys with rocks. We're in America untouched by anybody. So how do they control us? They sit in an inferior position. They're always getting bombed by dudes with rocks and tunnels. Like, for us, we don't take on much threat. The Atlantic and the Pacific protects us. We haven't been touched in a very long time in comparison. So it doesn't make sense when individuals say that, like, they rule us. They're in a compromised position.
If they ruled us, wouldn't they just come over here so they don't have to deal with that?
Exactly.
It's such
like,
an ignorant
Israel
statement.
would be America, and we'd be over there in Israel getting
They'd
hit
be like,
up
we
by
want
guys
all the
with
black
rocks.
people to go over there, and we go come on. It's such an ignorant statement, but go ahead. Thank you, my brother, for cooking that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I had to cook that for a second. And then the whole thing, well, you about to get clapped. Coming from people who always get clapped and beat up. That's what your life is filled with. Taking L's, having people take you out. But that's because you lack the understanding of security. You lack the understanding of many things when it comes down to power in this real world. So shout outs to Trump for making the deal. He made it happen, which even Times had to come out and say, okay, maybe this guy should get a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, this is a serious deal. So we got people in Palestine dancing. We got people in Israel dancing. And anybody who has something to say, I'll just ask this quick question. What have you done? What do you have to offer? If not, then stop throwing rocks and hide in your hands. Shout outs to Brandon. Shout outs to everybody else, man. Peace in the Middle East. Shout outs to Trump all day. Mad respect.
Cook, bro. Hey, That's what I love. My brother been in the shit. He been there, on the ground, security expert. He knows what he's talking about. I love that. Every country influences another country, and if they were controlling you, why do they live in an inferior position to you? No one who's controlling you is gonna let you have a better position than them. Like, that to me is the most ridiculous statement ever. But this is what they live by, because I guess it just keeps them. It feeds that victim mindset, man. But it is what it is. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. My bro cooked it. How you gonna follow that, China Soul, brother? You want me to tell you something, bro? What I love about this channel that you won't find on a lot of channels, you got brothers from all over the world. These brothers ain't even in America. They where they at. But they over here cooking. We all together, and we're getting perspective from different parts of the earth. And a lot of people just live in like an echo chamber, or like they have tunnel vision. And it's like, no, just look around, go to some of these places, walk the streets of these places, and it really gives you a lot of insight, man. And you'll realize how like short-sighted and how narrow-minded a lot of stuff you say is. But yeah, bubble facts are. Go ahead, China Soul, brother.